We're going to talk about resilience and flexibility in this incredibly changing world. And each and every day, I think if you're listening to this right now, each and every day, there's been new news. And in my businesses, I often talk to people about new information creates new decisions. Does that make sense? New information creates new decisions. And every day we're getting new information. As a quick example, I've been able to golf, one of the few things I've been able to do while here. And every time I've gone out, things have changed a little bit. The first day, they put us on different carts, every person on a different cart. Then another day they said, do not touch the flagpole or the rakes. And things just changed bit by bit as people are trying to figure out how to adapt and isolate and get this virus in a spot where people can avoid it, control it, kill it, understand it, etc. So I'm not coming to you as an expert on this. I, like you, am adapting. I am learning how to weather my way through this. And I just wanted to put on this special day with a bunch of my friends and mentors and colleagues to put together an energetic day because, let's face it, most of us are stuck at home most of the day. So Annette, who is my COO of one of my businesses, is joining us here. How are you doing this morning, Annette?
Well, I'm excited to be here this morning. I think this is going to be a great event.
Yeah, so thank you and your team for putting this together and helping us make this happen. And what's really interesting, and I don't know how this happened, is that Zoom is sponsoring this event. We had such a demand. We had over 457 people register. We had a capacity of 100, and somehow, I don't know how, but I've been told that Zoom has upgraded us to 600 participants, and they've just asked that I say that they're sponsoring this event, which I think is pretty cool. How did that happen?
Really, it just where Chris had a connection, amazing.
Yep.
Christina in the background, right, doing all the magic stuff, and he put out an email, and his contact said, no problem, and did us a favor. And
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really amazing. A lot of people are coming together for this.
You know, we're going to talk about that today on how I think this actual event may change the way we operate in the world. And I've found that the people I've come across are flexible, kinder, patient, adaptable, helpful, concerned, caring, going to the bank, whatever it is. People have been looking at this as, hey, you know what? We're all in this together. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be intrigued to see once this passes, is it a hangover? Does it disappear? Or do people really make some new decisions? And I hope that by the end of today, we can talk about with the various guest speakers. And we have an incredible lineup for you today of amazing guest speakers that are going to answer some of these questions. And you're going to have a chance to comment and ask some questions as well directly of these speakers, these leaders, these thought leaders that have been doing this for a long time. Now, Zoom, Annette, is something we're very comfortable with. We use it on a daily basis. We have multiple accounts. And we talked about a week ago when we were going through this, that with my research, I suggested to people buy some Zoom stock. It has gone up from 107 up to 130. So that does demonstrate that if you are willing to pay attention, that you have an opportunity, even when things are going backwards, to go forwards. Yeah. Again, if you're paying attention. So that's about a 15 or 20% increase. But Zoom is a home for us. We're very comfortable with it. And hopefully people that are coming on here will learn to become, because that's something that's definitely a tool that people are going to be using more and more. And you run a lot of your meetings this way, right?
Every meeting we run through Zoom, which is amazing. Actually, can I give some tips to those who are listening on how to
Yes, please.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about muting everyone out because this is a webinar feature, but normally if you were going to be asking questions, you would use a mute button when you're not speaking, because background noise can be really distracting. But here's what you do need to know for today. If you have a question for one of the speakers and you want to have that answered, pop it into the Q&A box. Rock will be busy having conversations with our guests, but I'll be in the background watching for questions that maybe we can ask the guest speakers, and I'll share them with Rock. So use the chat to chat. Right now I see a lot of comments already in the chat box, which
Wow.
is awesome. Yeah, it's like people
Amazing.
are going crazy in there. It's wonderful. So keep those chats going and talk to one another and share ideas with one another in the chat. But if you have a question for the guest, then pop that into the Q&A and that'll come directly to us. One other tip in the chat box, if you want the conversation to go to everybody, make sure it says all panelists and attendees in the drop-down menu. If it says all panelists, only 3, 4, 5 of us will see it. So make sure that you have that selected. That's about it for now.
Super cool. I see a bunch of people here, like Jakob from Norway, my Tony Robbins trainer buddy, and so many beautiful people here. Lucas is here, Rich Danby's here, Cliff Rigo, who's a Canadian and a fellow GoBundance member. Just a lot of beautiful people here that I don't normally get to converse with.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you people, but you know, there's so many mediums for us to communicate now, and I want to connect with the people I love and care about. But by the time you go through, you know, texting and uploading pictures and all these different things and keeping people posted, it feels like you got to start at the beginning and go all around again. But this is a great way for us all to connect, and glad to see you here. Let me run through just a couple of things you can expect today. We have 8 amazing speakers. I'm not going to go through them all. The first one, though, is Nicholas Simone. He's going to talk about preparing for uncertainty. He is crazy about health, spirituality, psychology, hypnosis. He's studied NLP, Reiki, and various other modalities. And he has a mastery around running your brain. Kind of useful in this situation. So we're going to dig into his knowledge there and find out what you can do to have a very, very empowering mindset. We're over 100 people on. I'm glad that Zoom did decide to sponsor us. Otherwise, we would have had some people left out. So that's pretty cool. In a moment, I'm going to give you some statistics of what's going on and possibly some good news. After that, we are going to be joined by Mike Lambert, who is a trading expert, how to protect your portfolio, some things you can do in order to come out of here as a winner. This guy's been doing it for a long, long time. He's a bit of a savant. He's a bit of a genius. And you're going to see in the way that he communicates, you're going to go, okay, this guy knows shit that I don't know. And it's going to be pretty cool to listen to him. Half an hour won't be enough for him because he's so intelligent and deep, but we're going to get a picture of that. And then we got the Rich and Roy show. These are 2 guys I met a little while back who are deep in real estate and branding and awareness and how to challenge yourself and reframing for resilience. After that, we're going to jump in with our intuition. We're going to be listening to Allison, Trusting Your Intuition in Time of Chaos. And she's a keynote speaker, a mentor, a TV host of Cable Now Spotlight, founder of the Speakers Coalition, and one of the world's leading intuition experts. I was just on her radio show recently with a bunch of other people, and she's just an amazing, beautiful soul. Then we are halfway through the day. We're going to change direction. We're going to talk to the fitness director of M1, Sherry Shaban, who's going to help you figure out how to stay fit and stay energized in your routines at home. And what are the best ways to do that? I have to admit that I've missed my yoga classes, and we've been doing some at home. It doesn't quite feel the same. Going to go for a hike up Camelback Mountain tomorrow. And I've been fortunate enough to get out and do some movement with golfing because that's being allowed out here. Then we're going to be talking to Mike Ayala, who's another brilliant man, and you're going to have a real estate roadmap. By the age of 24, Mike founded his first construction company and has been involved with over 2,000 projects totaling over $1 billion, including hospitals, courthouses, federal buildings, casinos, mills, gold processing facilities, civic projects, multifamily homes, shopping centers. Of the companies he started, most notable is the construction company that scaled quickly to more than 100 employees and sold it at a $12 million evaluation, and making it into the top 2009 2,500 fastest growing companies in America. And he's got a bunch of about $55 million worth of real estate that he manages now. So we've got some really cool stuff. Looks like Annette's frozen. I don't know if I'm frozen, but I'm going to keep on talking.
I'm not frozen. I'm helping Nick.
Okay, good. You're just very, very centered and grounded. You weren't moving.
No,
And then-
you know what? Nick says he needs some help, so I'm going to go
Okay,
behind the
you go
scenes for
help
a
him.
second. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, let's see. And then we have Ned Mahik, who's going to come on, who's really good at finding operators and scaling your businesses. He took an operator that was doing $8 million a year in student housing and took them to 120 in about 3 years. He's in self-storage, and he used to work with Goldman Sachs. So you're going to hear him talk about thinking bigger during times of adversity. And then finally, we save possibly the best for last is one of my mentors, David Osborne. And David, the list of, who he is and what he's done, we could go on for a long time, but I met him about 8 years ago. We started a mastermind group together. And, I guess you could summarize him as a businessman that has built one of the top real estate brokerages in North America with Keller Williams, 4,500 agents that are in his regions, selling over 10 billion a year. I figure he has his pulse on some things that are going on. He's founded over 50 companies. He's a speaker, a best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author of the book, Wealth Can't Wait, and so many other things. He's also written a book with my buddy Hal Elrod called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. And finally, we'll get to him at the end of the day.